so strongly with destiny through the depths of your essence, but it's in your head. And it's like people outside of your head try and tell you how you gotta be, and deter you from showing up authentically. Get yourself starting to believe the shit, like blah blah blah.
Hey y'all, welcome to Aniyah's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. Welcome in if you're new, welcome back if you're subscribed. So today we're going to be doing what is the current gossip on you. I just did this for TikTok and the energy was confusing, child. Hopefully breaking it up into groups, I can get more specific and more clear messages because, child, I can already tell for all of you though, like, because y'all are pretty much low-key the same collective, low-key. Like, there's just this energy of people being confused about you, okay, in one way or another. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. If you want to book a personal, then you can book one down below with the link in the bio. If you would like to subscribe, you can click the subscribe button as well. Other than that, let's get into it. Hey Part 1, welcome to your reading. Welcome in, welcome to Aniyah's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. Today we're going to be doing what's the current gossip on you. If you would like to book a personal, you can do so down below with the link in the bio. Other than that, let's get into it. First card up, Ace of Pentacles. I feel like people feel like you have a lot of ideas. They think you're good at making money. You might be a hustler. This song, This Morning by Rocco, is coming to mind, if you guys know that song. The lyrics are like, this morning I woke up feeling like money. I jumped up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a song that's just like, yeah, like I just woke up and like hustle basically. And so with the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Wands, people definitely see you as a hustler, okay? That's like, they're talking about how people might be pocket watching. Like, people are talking about how, oh yeah, Part 1 like has money for sure. Like, I've never done a reading and like channeled that song for real. Well, I kind of have, but it was in the kind of the same way though, whereas like people are pocket watching. People see you as somebody who's successful and who gets to the bag. You might be people might see you as being materialistic too. Like you might have nice clothes or like a nice car, a nice home. Maybe you're always taking trips with the King of Wands. Like, you could travel a lot, or you could just do things international. Like, you could literally have business internationally, or be like moving and have like a home in one country, a home in a different country. Like, take it how it resonates in terms of like which ways this kind of wealth shows up for you. But I'm definitely feeling like people see you as somebody who's going far in life and somebody who like wakes up every day determined to like gain success in some kind of way. Let's see, Spirit, what's the current gossip on Part 1? People could definitely be pocket watching though, and like on the nail and the bottom end of this is that, or the negative aspect of it is, sometimes people feel entitled to your money. I'm getting that some of your family members feel entitled to your money, but they're not hustling as hard as you. So it's like, how come I put in all this work to make this? Because I feel like you're somebody who works for your money in one way or another. So it's like, how am I putting in all this work to have what I have, and you feel entitled to it when you don't do what I do? You know? Yeah, we have the Seven of Swords. I feel like people... with this being the current gossip, I feel like this is kind of like a double-ended energy where I can kind of feel how they're saying it on you, but then also how they're doing it themselves. It's like people might gossip and try to say like that you're a backstabber, or that you switched up, or that you changed up, or that you had some type of plan to use them or whatever, or to like toss them aside after a certain amount of time, especially if you're somebody who like your hustle only recently started to pay off. Like, if you're somebody who's been on a hustle or a grind for like years, but maybe only in the past few years have you actually had, or like, yeah, had like physical success that other people could see. If before that it looked like you weren't doing too much, or you were failing, or you were broke or whatever, and then you gained that, people are saying that you switched up, or that you changed up, or things like that. But the reason why I'm also getting it for their energy is that with the Seven of Swords, I feel like these people betrayed you in some kind of way, or they switched up on you as you got more. It's kind of like I said, like they became entitled, like they started treating you different, or maybe where they didn't even support you when you was building this thing. Now that you're successful in it, they feel entitled. Yeah, there's definitely an entitlement here. And it's like people, instead of seeing that entitlement and noticing how it's affecting the relationship, they kind of just make it seem like, oh, you just switched up on them. Or this could just be a thing where, like I said, people switched up on you, where it might not even be entitlement. People could have gotten jealous of you, or like try to tear you down along the way. So it's like, I'm definitely not going to give you shit now when you literally, like, these could even be people who made it harder for you. Like, they seen you trying to do this. And because the way the cards are set up is where it's like, you know, we have these positive cards on one side, and then we have the Seven of Swords, which is a card of deceit, stealing, lying, looking at these two. So it's like, as if for some of these people, they were actively preying on your downfall, or like trying to make things harder for you in the background while you were trying to achieve these things, or since you've been on this hustle, and you just happen to out hustle their efforts anyways and still become successful. But it's like, they were definitely doing this. So the fact that they are trying to make it seem like you switched up for no reason is insane. It's like, some people, I feel like, around you, when they gossip about you, they like talk about you with a lack of context, or they talk about you while trying to erase the past or erase what they've done. It's like they're only telling the story from their side with no accountability taken of like, yeah, this person switched up, they don't mess with me, and I'm their so-and-so, I used to be there for them, or I'm related to them in this capacity, or whatever, or I used to date them and they just brushed me off and threw me aside. But really, it's like, they're not telling the other people that they're talking to about how many times they mistreated you, or how they doubted your plans, or how they told you this, that you weren't going to be shit, or it wasn't going to be successful, or how they treated you like you were less than, or, you know, talked down to you when you didn't have as much. But now that you're up, now all of a sudden they're giving you respect, and they act like, and they don't know why you don't want them around, basically. It's like that type of vibe. Like, people are definitely twisting history, twisting your words, twisting what actually happened, okay? Because they know that you're in this highlight now. So it's like, I feel like some people try to slander your reputation because they feel like if people were to meet you on your own without them telling a certain story, that you would charm people, or that people would like you, and they don't want that. So annoying. We have Queen of Swords, the Sun reversed, and Judgment reversed. So Leo energy could definitely be significant. I feel like with the Judgment, the Sun reversed, the Queen of Swords, people are talking about how you've overcome people trying to literally judge you out of being who you are, and you still show up anyways. But it's like, now you're still successful, you still are in a queen energy, but you're a lot more reserved now. You're a lot more reserved, and you have a lot stronger boundaries. You are kind of cold now. People feel like you did overcome the lies, the deceits, because I feel like you used to be, like with the Sun energy, I feel like you used to be somebody who was, well, not even used to be, I feel like you've always been somebody who shined brightly. Like, even before you started necessarily like working or hustling for money, you could have just still always had like a very bright personality, where like when you were happy around people, that happiness rubbed off on them. Or you could have always had, like I said, some type of you could have had some type of creative or artistic abilities as well, that you maybe like to perform or do things like that. And it would just bring happiness, and people seen this from a young age, and they would try to judge you, shame you, make you feel less than or smaller, so that you wouldn't show your personality. Or, you know, if you started making a lot of money, because the Sun can also represent luxury, it's like, if you started making a lot of money and, you know, you're upgrading the things around you, so like you're wearing better clothes, you might be getting your hair done more often, or getting your nails and toes done more often, you might be getting haircuts more often, you might be getting a nicer car, you might move to a nicer part of the city, like, you know what I'm saying, or like the area, whatever. You might start traveling internationally, like whenever. And so it's like, when you do these things, people see you as having overcome all of the negative attacks that you've experienced within your life, and they respect that, and they see that as a positive thing. But then they also have to accept that they were a part of the negative attacks. And so, and when you remind them that, when they come around you and you're cold, you seem cold, distant, stoic, like you don't really fuck with them. And they, instead of taking accountability for how they treated you in your past or your youth or whenever this was, they just make it seem like you just switched up, and like, you know, you think you're better now, or, you know, stuff like that, basically. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like they feel like you got lucky in life, and now your life is better, and that you got lucky. But, you know, they liked you better when you were in this energy, this Nine of Wands. They liked you better when you were stressed and struggling. Like, they felt more comfortable around you in that way, because they feel like they had some kind of power over you. Or maybe this even, for some of you, this could even just be about your self-esteem in general. Like, it don't necessarily have to be about money or travel or, like, still being willing to put yourself out there. It could just be your self-esteem. Well, yeah, I guess putting yourself out there does have to do with your self-esteem. But yeah, it's just like that. Like, you could have been insecure in your past, and so it's like, you may have just valued their opinion more, or allowed them to shame you, allowed them to mistreat you. But it's like, now you don't go for that. Like, if somebody tries to shame you, you don't care, and you're still gonna show up and be who you want to be. If somebody says something rude to you, you're gonna say something rude back, or you're gonna tell them not to say anything rude to you. Whereas in the past, you would have just let them and probably like cried about it and just accepted it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now, you're like, you could either be ready to, y'all. I'm talking. It's like I'm trying to keep up with my mind, but it's like you could be willing to get, you know, active behind it. You could be telling people like, "What's up?" Like, I'm tired of all this talking that you're doing. What's up? It could be something like that. It could be you simply just ignoring them and not giving them any energy, not even arguing with them, not crying, not nothing, just like literally acting as if they don't exist and nothing that they says matters. It could be like you blocking people, you just going no contact, things like that. It's like they get that cold shoulder. Or maybe, you know, this is like an event where you see people that, you know, have wronged you in some kind of way in the past, and they think that since enough time has passed and like you're successful now, that they can come back in and just, you know, act like they know you or treat you like nothing happened, and you're stiff. You ignore them, or, you know, reject them, or, you know, do I know you? Like, it's not that, you know? And that's what they're gossiping about, for sure. People are gossiping about how, you know, yeah, you're successful, you've overcome a lot, but that you switched up, or you think you're all that, or you don't come around anymore, or you don't talk to them anymore. But these are not the people who, this gossip is not coming from the people who supported you along the way. This is coming from people who actively like they literally liked you when you were in a down energy. They literally had you around as like either their punching bag or their person that they could compare themselves to feel better about themselves. So it's like they were never really your real friend anyways. If this is a relative, they never really had your best intentions at heart anyways. So for them to be saying that is crazy. All right, but that's what I have for you guys. Definitely like the video if it resonated. Comment down below how so it resonates. If you're from pile 1, comment traitor, because that's what people were to you. Really, they traded on you and turned their back on you when you needed their support, and then now the shoe still become successful without their support. Now they want to come back acting like they're just saints and, oh, what was me, pile 1 doesn't fuck with me. Of course I don't fuck with you, and they know exactly why you don't fuck with them, but they don't want to take accountability for that. So if you're from pile 1, comment traitor, okay? Other than that, I love you guys. Oh, and subscribe to the channel. You can book a personal down below with the link in the bio. Other than that, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. Welcome to Naya's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. So today we're going to be doing what's the current gossip on you, okay? If you would like to book a personal, then you can click the link in the description and go to AniyahJelisa.com. I do also have my I'd be calling them ebooks, but they're not really books. One is like a journal prompt workbook of 50 journal prompts for courage and confidence. It's kind of helping to unravel any like insecurities, childhood wounds, things like that. It's like a work through type of thing. Each chapter has like a different thing that it's focused on, and that one is $25. And then there's a 10-step guide book. That one is if I was to print it out, it would literally be like a pocket pamphlet, something that you could keep in your pocket. And it's also based on like journal prompts and self-reflection. I have those on my website as well. So yeah, let's see. Spirit, what is the gossip on pile 2? We have the 2 of Cups and the 5 of Swords reversed. Let's see, let's get some more. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the Emperor reversed. Oh, we have Death and the Tower reversed, and also Justice reversed. So lots of major arcana here. We have Aries, Scorpio, and Libra here, okay, with these. Very interesting. This is definitely a whole different vibe than the last pile. With the 2 of Cups, honestly, I feel like this is somebody who, like, gossiping about you a lot, who you used to date. What's on the bottom of the deck? Yeah. I can't even make it up. On the bottom of the deck, King of Cups. So this could be a water sign masculine. It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be a masculine presenting person, and they don't even have to be a water sign. But I do feel like this is a person here. Like, even with the 2 of Cups, I was like, I feel like this is somebody who you broke up with for sure. Like, this is an ex. This is an ex that's gossiping about you. I feel like they're like reminiscing on you guys' past arguments and like disagreements, and they feel like, did you call this person broke? Like, I feel like this person is talking about how like they weren't good enough for you, or like you didn't see them in a high enough light, and that's why the relationship didn't work out. And I feel like they could even be trying to make it seem like you were unfair for like viewing them this way, and like they might see themselves in like a higher light than what you saw in them, and they feel like you have a misconstrued perception of them. But it's like this person is really like avoiding inner work. I feel like with the Tower in reverse, it's like you push this person to really look at themselves. This person gossiping about you is like they're gossiping about you, and they probably do have strong feelings towards you, but they also are like asking people for reassurance about who they are as a person, because something about what you said to them, or the way that you broke up with them, or the things about them that you pointed out, it like made them question their sense of self. It made them question who they see themselves as, and like what kind of person they are, and like how their actions affect other people. You might have been the first person to kind of like really make this person like realize that maybe they're lacking empathy, or maybe they just had like an what is it called, like an inflated ego. Like you're making this person question themselves and like wonder like, am I being cocky? Am I being conceited? Am I as attractive as I think I am? Am I as good of a partner or a person as I think I am? But then there's also this energy of them being like, no, I am, like, and that person is just tripping, or that person is materialistic, or, you know, they're the difficult one, or, you know, trying to paint it back on you. Because like I said, with the King of Cups, it's like they see themselves in this highlight. They see themselves as being emotionally intelligent and like nurturing and like a good partner and a good person. But we do have the Page of Swords reverse after that. It's like, no, you might be a good person on the surface, you might be nurturing on the surface, but there's something here about like how they can be very immature and like selfish, especially when it comes to their, and like inconsiderate. I feel like when it comes to their communication, or like the way that they like try to rationalize things like logically. Like this is the kind of person who will, I feel like they always try to talk their way out of stuff, or like don't want to talk about the real things, or maybe they lie, or like they twist stories, or like they try to outsmart somebody rather than like understanding somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who just uses their mental energy in an immature way, and like in not a good way. With the Death card, I feel like this person feels like you think that you're shitting on them. And maybe that's not even how you think about it, but it's like their ego is like this, they see you and they're talking about how like you kind of like you, oh, you must think you're better than me, or, you know, I'm so not good enough for you. And maybe they're basing it on materials, because this person could be broke. This person could be, I don't want to quite say a bum. Like they don't have to necessarily be a bum, but they could just be somebody where it's like what they have to offer is not enough for you. Like it's just not. They might not be able to offer you anything substantial or sustainable, or something that even makes sense. So it's just like you're not taking them serious. You're not viewing them as an emperor, because the emperor is all the kings. So if the only king that's here is the King of Cups, which can also have a downside to it as well, that's the only king energy here, then it's like you're not an emperor. An emperor is all the kings combined. An emperor is like top dog in the tarot, in the major arcana. Like you're not him. You know, and I'm not, again, I do feel like for a lot of you this is a masculine energy, which is why I'm saying him and whatever, but it doesn't even have to be that. Like don't necessarily attach gender to it. But I just feel like this is somebody who, like I said, like they're overestimating their worth. They're overestimating their value, and like because you might be the first person to kind of like you, it's kind of like you see this person for who they are. They think they're up here, or they might be used to people seeing them for their potential too. Like this could be somebody who has a lot of potential to become something great, but they're not actually acting on that, or like doing all that requires in order to have it. But they're used to people still banking them on their potential, or treating them like they're gonna be. It's like this could be the kind of person where like people could see them becoming famous, or they could see them becoming rich, but they're not actually famous or rich. And they're also not actually doing everything that they could be doing to achieve that. But because they have this aura, they might have like an aura. They might have some confidence, some charm, be attractive. They might have ambition. You know, they might be somebody who has the aura of somebody who's going to achieve that. And they're used to people just banking on that and just treating them like they already are that, even though they're not, because of the said aura. But you might be somebody who has just as strong an aura or bigger, and so it's like you might be kind of the same kind of person who you have all this potential and people see you as becoming a certain thing, but you might be closer to that thing. Maybe you put in more work to that thing, and so it's like you don't see them on that same pedestal that everybody else does. So when you're just telling them how they should work on this, that, and the third, and they're not a good partner, or they're not somebody that you want to be with because of XYZ, they're taking it as a personal attack, and like you thinking that you're better than them, and like them kind of trying to like talk their way out of it, or like twist the situation in a way to where it makes it seem like you're just being bougie or stuck up or judgmental, or like you're not being fair, or you're not seeing the situation clearly, when you're just seeing it for the actual reality that it is. I also feel like with the King of Cups, this person could be good at projecting illusions, because the thing about water energy is that while it is loving and nurturing and caring, it can also be emotionally manipulative and create illusions. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune is also the planet of illusions. So it's like, even with the moon, like all of these watery energies, Pluto, like these are all planets and energies that can be confusing and that can cause illusions, especially emotionally. So this might be the kind of person as well where maybe they know how to make you feel good, like they know how to say the right things and cater to your needs and nurture you in a way that does feel good. But behind that, they still don't have the Pentacles energy. They're not stable. They might be kind of emotionally sporadic or erratic, emotionally chaotic. So where it's like you don't really know. Like they might be nurturing when they're nurturing, but you don't know if they're going to be nurturing that day. They could also be giving you the cold shoulder that day. Or like they are lacking in the Pentacles department, where maybe they make you feel good, but they depend on you financially, or they don't pay bills, or they don't, like there's something here about like they may be lacking financially to the point where it would affect you if you're in a relationship, or you wouldn't be able to enjoy the quality of relationship that you're used to or that you like with them, because they literally just can't afford it. It could be something where with the fire energy, like maybe they aren't very action oriented, or they get a lot of ideas but they don't ever act on them, or maybe they are hyperactual with that fire energy. Like, there's just things here, other things missing. With the King of Swords missing, maybe they're not that good at communicating, or like I said, they might lie or try to charm their way out of things instead of like actually addressing things and just being completely honest and transparent. This person could lie, or they could cheat, just different things that they have. But it's like, but they're like, but I love you though, but I have love for you. And like, this is one of those things where it's like, love is not enough. Like this relationship, love was not enough. But this person feels like, you backstabbed them, or you betrayed them, or you're too materialistic because love is not enough for you. And it's like they think in their mind that like love is enough for them, but it's like their version of love was not even healthy. Like, I don't feel like you thought this was a healthy relationship. I feel like that's why you ended it, because the relationship was having a negative effect on you, but they only cared about the effect that it was having on them. And they were benefiting from your energy, and they enjoyed being with you. They enjoyed being with your energy. And now it's kind of like they miss you, and they kind of are like trying to gaslight themselves as to why you're not with them or why you don't want to be with them. But I do feel like this is somebody who manipulated you, or was not really, it's just like they weren't being accountable with themselves. They weren't seeing themselves clearly. They were always trying to not see how they were hurting you or how they were manipulating you. And not even just you, it could be other people as well, so yeah, that's what I have. That's the gossip for you. You can book a person if you want to dive deeper into this energy or whatever. You can book a personal down below with the link in the description box. Other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading. Welcome into Naya's Notes. I am your host, AniyahJelisa. Welcome in if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. So today we're going to be doing what's the current gossip on you. If you guys like to book a personal reading, you can do so with the link in my bio at AniyahJelisa.com. You can also purchase my journal prompt guidebooks there as well. Other than that, let's get into it. Spirit, what is the question? Oh, what's the current gossip on pile 3? What is the current gossip on pile 3? First out, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Cups. I think it's immediately interesting how we got 2 cards with like empty cloaks. Okay. I feel like all 3 people are gossiping about how mysterious you are. How like they feel like they don't really trust you, or like there's like a magician or a witchy type of vibe to you, and like they just feel like there's a lot beneath the surface. You might not talk that much, or you might be more kind of reserved when you're in public. You might even literally wear hoodies a lot, or masks, like not like this kind of mask, but I'm talking about like, the hospital type of mask, or like sunglasses or something when you're in public to kind of remain anonymous. You could have a spam page or like a private page. We have the Tower reversed. Interesting. The Ace of Swords reversed. It's like people want to pry into you and they want to know more about you, because they can just tell that like there's things here, like huge transformations that you've been through in life, where people can tell that like based on the way you carry yourself that you've been through a lot. Like you carry yourself like somebody who's learned a lot of lessons, and like somebody who's wise. So they want to know more about you and like kind of like your origin story or like your lore, but they feel like it's not easy to find that out. Like you might not talk about it that much. with people, and when you do, you might even still give like a watered down version of it or something that's a very basic kind of explanation. And we have the Knight of Wands reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. This is so interesting. And then like the Hanged Man. This is kind of interesting. I'm like, I feel like this is okay. This is in different ways. I feel like people want to like unwrap you, but you're somebody, people are gossiping about how you're definitely like a slow burner. Like you're somebody who takes time to unravel. So this could be like, for example, if you're in a group setting and you have a friend and then that friend introduces you to like a mutual friend, like you will be open enough to the mutual friend. Like you're not gonna, it doesn't give that you're like making people feel uncomfortable, like, or unwelcome per se, but it's more so a thing of like, you're gonna treat them like you just met them today. And like people notice a difference in how you treat people who you've known for a long time versus people that you just met. Like they can tell, like they can see how you may not be that open with them, but let's say that they see you have a conversation with your friend that you've known for years. They notice the difference in how much more open you are, how much more of your life and your information and your business that you share with people the longer they've known you. Okay, that's what this is giving. And like they're talking about that, and they're talking about how they really want to like get into you. So with the Queen of Swords and like the Knight of Wands, I feel like for some people it's more so a thing of like they just want to know your backstory. Like they want to know like how, what you do in your day. Like they're very interested, like they're very curious, because you come across, like I said, as kind of reserved. So people don't really know what you have going on, but you seem like an interesting person. With the Seven of Cups, like you seem like you would have somebody who does a lot of different things. You might come across multifaceted, you might have multi-passionate, like you could have, people feel like you could have multiple jobs, or you could have multiple businesses, or if you're dating, like they know that you're like dating multiple people, or like you're single. It could be a thing where you also have you're multi-talented. So like maybe you express your hobbies sometimes in different ways. Maybe the way that you dress could show that, or maybe you post about your hobbies online and people might see your page, but it only goes there. And like maybe you don't post any of your personal business on your page. You just post like your interests and your hobbies. There's like this vibe that people, again, it's like they want to get to know you, but they have to like have patience for sure with the Hanged Man. Even like sexually, I feel like people are really attracted to you, but like they know that you're not going to be somebody who just sleeps with them quickly. I feel like even if somebody were to get you out of character and you might move quickly, your version of moving quickly is still like, you might kiss them, but you know, it's still not even going further than that. You know, it's not like, you just come across as somebody who requires patience, and people are talking about this. I feel like I'm especially getting like groups of people who like met you at one time and then like somebody new comes into the group. So I feel like this could be some of you, your school peers, this could be coworkers, it could be like just friends, like a social group of friends. It could be like family members, where let's say you went to like a family reunion or something recently, and like the people who you don't know for real, you're kind of just more reserved with them, versus like your family that you already know, that you spend a lot of time with, you're more open, and they're like noticing that difference and talking about that. I don't feel like everybody who's talking about this is talking about it from like a bitter or malicious place. I feel like some of them are just kind of observing it, and they're just talking about like, it might be a thing where like somebody mentions like, oh, your friend seems kind of shy, and they're like, oh, she's not shy, she just don't know you. Like, or she not shy, she just, you know, he's not shy, he just isn't comfortable with you yet. Or, you know, he'll talk more over time, like as you get to know him. Or, you know, it could be somebody saying like, oh, I like your friend's hot, like let me get with that, like put me on. And it might be, he might be like, your friend might be like about you, like, oh, they're not like that, they're not gonna want you. Or if they do want you, it's still gonna take a long time. You're gonna have to date them and be consistent for a long time before they like get into a relationship with you or anything. It's not gonna just be like, I could just put you on, like they don't care. Even if I was to put, your friend is kind of like, even if I was to put you on, they still might not like you. So, and are you even prepared to be in a relationship with them? Because people also see you as somebody who's like mature and who has high standards, or who doesn't like settle down or lock down easily. So it's like also this thing of like, yeah, like that person is just not gonna be an easy catch. Or if they're not talking to you yet, it's like, just give them some more time, let them get comfortable, they'll talk to you more over time. But you know, when you first meet them, they are reserved, because also I feel like people are also talking about their experience meeting you for the first time, if these are like friends, and they're also talking about how, you know, when they first met you, you were also quiet or standoffish, and the longer you guys got to know each other, then you started opening up more. And so they're like giving other people the advice to be patient with you. That's the gossip. Yeah, they're like, just be patient with pile 3. Like, they're kind of quiet or reserved until they get to know you for real. But then I feel like there's also this vibe where there is also this vibe of you being selective about who you talk to anyways, because it's like, yeah, you do open up more over time as you get to know people, but there's also this vibe that there are still certain people that no matter how long you know them, you never open up to them. Like, it doesn't matter, like, they just are not your cup of tea, I feel like. And I feel like you're somebody who's very selective with like unveiling yourself, because like I said, the first 2 cards we have here are cloaked, and I don't think there's that many cards in here that even are like this. I'm pretty sure these are the only 2 cards in this deck that have this like cloak, like the cloak over, because I know the Hierophant I think is wearing a cloak, but he also has a face, and like, you know, the cloak is not, these ones is literally like an empty cloak with no like human face there. Isn't that crazy? It's like people feel like you definitely wear masks, like they feel like you have like a personality or a way that you act when you don't really like somebody for real, and then like you only show your true face to certain people, and it's like people people want to see your real face, but it's like either they haven't known you long enough to see it, and like over time you'll let them see it, or you might not never let them see it because there's something about them that you just don't like, and it's going to vary from person to person what that thing is. But people feel that, they feel it. Like, people, it's not even it almost feels like a thing of like people want to be in your clique, but it's not even a clique. Like, it's not even about getting popularity or something from you, but it's more so like people feel like they have to work for your approval, or like they have to like prove themselves to be around you. It's kind of giving like, it's making me think about Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess, and how, you know, she puts your heart on the scale. It's like that. It's like people, when they are around you, they feel like you're weighing their heart, like like if people feel like you can see through them and you're like weighing their heart, but they can't really see you, or they can't really understand you, or they don't really know what you're doing, or they don't know like what you think about them or what you do in your day-to-day life. Like, there's so many unknown things about you. Very interesting, very interesting. But I feel like when you do speak, because I feel like you're reserved and you don't really say much, especially about your personal life, but like whenever you do share something about your personal life, it's always interesting. People always find it to be interesting, even if it's something that's normal to you. You might be somebody who's kind of eccentric, but you've kind of always been like that, so to you it's just like who you are. But to other people, they find you to be so interesting. Like, you're very much, is not giving vanilla or boring. Like, you're somebody who, something about you makes you different, whether it's you being from a foreign land than where you currently live, whether it's you being kind of witchy and magical, whether it's you being spiritual and not being religious, whether it's you being LGBTQ, like whether it's you just like view the world in like a different way than most people. There's something here that makes you different, that makes you unique. And you also do have this like magnetic, yeah, like this powerful like aura to you. So it makes you super intriguing, but because you're all like reserved and very picky about who you talk to, that's what makes you so like, because the energy it gives is like valuable, that it makes you valuable. It makes people feel special when you like them, or when you talk to them, or when you tell them your business. It makes them feel like better than everybody else because your energy just seems so like rare. It's like a rare gem, genuinely like special. So people feel special when you talk to them, or they feel like left out, or like they are not good enough when you don't. So yeah, and people definitely pay attention to like how much of your energy and your attention and like your openness that you're giving to different people, and they feel some type of way when they're not the one that's getting the most of it. But when they are getting the most of it, like your actual friends and like people that you like, they feel special. They feel like, yeah, like they feel like they can brag on being friends with you, literally. Like, but it's not even just about like, it's not even from a material place of like, oh yeah, I'm bragging about this person because they have money. Who, I'm talking so fast. I don't even be realizing I'm doing it. I just, but it's like some people brag on you, but it don't feel like from a materialistic place of like, oh, I'm just friends with a millionaire. No, it's like I'm friends with like this great person that's really valuable and like changes people's lives. And maybe the things that you say can also be very inspiring and insightful as well, and like maybe you give really good advice too. So yeah, you just come across like a sage almost, like somebody who be in hiding, but when you do talk to them, like they just always have something of value to share. And if you were to ever become their student or be around them or be their friend, like you would learn so much, or you would grow so much just by being around them. But they aren't, but they're kind of like a loner. Like they don't really choose that many people to hang out with. So yeah, that's the gossip on you. People are gossiping about this. And yeah, I feel like people are bragging on you and bragging on being around you, but I also feel like certain people are, how do I want to say it? They're kind of offended or down talking to you because you didn't choose them, and because, like, you know, they don't get you, so they'll kind of try to make it sound like you're weird or whatever. But in reality, if you were to like want to be their friend, and if you were to try to talk to them and have a conversation with them, they'll be so happy that you sat there and talked to them, even though they was just telling so and so that, you know, you're weird or you're not all that, or, you know, you're too quiet or whatever the case may be. Yeah, whatever. But anyways, that's what I have for you, pile 3. Definitely give the video a thumbs up if it resonated, and subscribe to this channel so you can join the team. All right, you can also book a personal with me down below in the description box. Other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.